And welcome to the next video. This is a video on tracks. The first thing you need to look for is these buttons up here, specifically this one here called Show Inspector. This is the inspector here. This is the track section, this is the arrange window. If you don't see these buttons, if you just right click and make sure that view switches is selected, those buttons will appear. If I deselect that, they're gone. If I select that, they're back. Now, tracks. There's 11 different types of tracks available in Cubase 4, 9 in SX3 if I remember correctly. I'm just going to show you how to add them and what you can do with a couple of them. Other ones like the instrument track, the arranger track, FX channel, group track, transpose and video track will be, I'll discuss those tracks later on. Okay, so to add a track you can do it two ways. You can, on this dark grey section, right click, select add a MIDI track. Here you can add as many MIDI tracks as you like. Don't worry about browse presets, I'll discuss those in the next video. So we've created a MIDI track. Here you've seen the inspector is now filled up with the MIDI tracks information. So you've got MIDI inserts, MIDI fader, notepad, quick controls. Again, I'll go into all of these in detail later on, but we will touch on bits and bobs as I go through certain sections. Okay, so that's MIDI track. The next one is we'll add an audio track. So if you go to Project, Add Track, Audio, here you can, as many audio tracks as you like. You can select what type of audio track, so stereo, mono, or multi-channel tracks, including 5.1. And again, the browse presets will be in the next video. So I hit OK. We've now got a video, an audio track, and again, the inspector's got the audio track settings, etc., etc. Now, a good tip is to learn how to use the folder track. A good way to do it is if you select the MIDI track here and then select right click, add folder track, you'll see it put it below that track. That's pretty much standard. Whenever you create a track, it will drop the track into the one that's below it, the one below the selected track. So the great thing about folder tracks is you can put multiple tracks into the folders and close the folder up. I'll show you what I mean. So let's say we've got drums and we are using audio for our drums and we've got 5 audio folders. Okay, let's say 6. So you've got kick, hi-hat, snare, etc., etc. If you just select them all, the way I've done that was control click. If you just grab them, left click on them and drag them up to drums and drop them into the folder, they're all now in that folder. If I close that folder, they're gone. So now if I create another folder, let's call this MIDI, we can then drop the MIDI into there. So say we had multiple MIDI tracks. As you'll see, because I had that folder, track created, it created them below that, so automatically put them into the folder. The great thing about that is say you've got your 9 or 10 drums, a couple of guitars and a bass guitar, loads of effects, some synths and stuff going on. You can have a folder track for each one. And then if you're only working on the drums, all you need open is the drum track, is the drum folder. These can all be color coded as well. So I can color code them to be yellow. So the folder tracks to be yellow. So I know instantly when I look at their folder tracks. And then you can come in here and change these individually, or if I let's just delete these ones and just leave that one. If I go back into the project setup, the preferences, and go to editing, then go to project and mixer, you'll see auto track color mode. So you've got use previous track color +1, but you can change that, but leave it at that, and that seems to work well. So now that I've selected that there. So now that colour there for this one, if I now go in and add audio tracks, you'll see it just adds +1. So if you look, red, orange, orange, yellow, green, 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 which is cool, but it's up to you if you want to use it. Okay, so that's folder tracks, audio tracks and MIDI tracks. You can also add a marker track and then move it up to the top. I just like having it up there, it makes it easier. So now what you can do with this is for certain sections of the song you can drop a marker. And then easily move to the marker. If you hit F2 to bring up the transport, okay, let me just put my transport to default. You'll see here we've got a marker section. If I hit 1, it goes to marker 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. Great if you want to do like have a section that's a chorus or whatever it may be. Let me just draw in some audio. Something I wanted to show you. Okay, the great thing about the folder tracks also, sorry, I will go back to the marker track in a second, is that even with the folder closed, you can still see that there's actually stuff in there. If I open it up, it's related to the MIDI that's in there, and same with the audio. You can see that there's audio in there. If I open it up, it's showing me that there's audio here. Now with regards to the marker track, these are single markers. You can also add loop markers or cycle markers. So say, let's say I've got a piece of MIDI here, this section here, and it's my intro. So if I grab the left and right locators and move them out to select this section here, so the first 4 bars, and I want that to be called my intro, what I can do is I can drop a cycle marker. Oh, I've done 2 there. You see the red? See how it's the marker is now encompassing those first 3 bars or wherever the markers are. What I can now do is I can name that section. So if I come to here, we know we're on 5. So if I just scroll across where it says description, I can put intro in there. Oops, wrong one. Intro. Oh, wrong one again. Sorry, I keep forgetting. Okay, it's good that happened because I can show you this. As you can see, numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 don't have the square brackets on them. The reason for that is when you do a loop marker, it puts the little brackets around it so that you know that it's different. So if I come along here, we'll just delete that, come up to this description, and if I put in intro, now you'll see that that's marked as intro. It's also named there as well. This can be a bit annoying, really, kind of editing and stuff in here. So if you want to actually just see this in a bigger window, which makes it a bit easier to kind of see what's going on, if you go to project, select markers, it brings you into this window here. You can minimize that as well, so you can have it down here, and it just makes it easier to type in names, etc. And you can also, in here, you can show all, you can show markers, show cycle markers only. You can move the markers, you can add a marker, and of course you can remove a marker. So that's the marker. I will go deeper into what you can do with markers. This is just a kind of overview of these. What you can also do, some more tracks that we can add, is the ruler track. Basically, this gives you the chance to use multiple different types of ruler. So of course we've got the ruler here, but if you click on here, you can have that changed to seconds, or time code, or samples, or frames per second. It's ascertained by the user. So you can have one at seconds, you can pop that up to the top there if you want, and then you can add another one, and you can have that at time code, say. So you've got everything relative to each other and you can see what's going on. I think that's what we're going to show you in this one at the moment. So you've got the basic tracks, the audio and the MIDI. You know what the inspector is. You can use the ruler tracks if you wish. Normally, if you've got loads and loads of channels, you can have like an extra ruler, maybe even in with your audio files, so that when you do this, it'll show up with your audio file. So you maybe want it at the top, and you maybe want that to show seconds, depending if you're working away down at the bottom or whatever that may be. But anyway, that's basic tracks.